for our discussion number 5 for the wire project, for my face, this is how it turned out. So I put a lot of hair apparently. These are my hair. I usually have it curled most of the time. That's the reason why the curls, my eyes, my nose, my lips, and of course an eyebrow, because of course my hair is covering up the other eyebrow. I was thinking of including it, but I wasn't sure how exactly I was going to do that. But yeah, I began with, what did I start with? I started with my face, my roundness on my face first. Once I got that going, I kind of had a sense of which direction I was going to take in order to make the nose and the lips and the hair. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I kind of did it backwards in a way, because I started with the roundness, then I did the hair, and then I did the eyebrow, and then the eyes, and then the lips and the nose towards the end. I did externally, going internally apparently, but hey, I struggled, but I made it out alive. This was my face, and for my 3D object, I made a digital camera. So this is my camera. So pretty fun. I honestly had a lot of fun making this one. Of course, my sweat and tears went into it, so you can see I dedicated a few hours into this. I feel like it approximately took me a good maybe 7 to 8 hours total, because I was working on it throughout the whole week. I was doing it at work, I was doing it at home. Every chance I got, I was working on it. I was going day 1 an hour, and then second day another 2 to 3 hours. You know, I just couldn't do it all at once because my fingers were like, they ended up getting purple towards the end. Of course I was still using the tools, but since the tool was a little bit big, it was kind of difficult to go into the detail area. For example, right here we have the flash, we have the lens, of course, and then of course we gotta attach it somewhere. So I also included the string, and then I also have in the back more details. Here is where you can see the image of the picture you are taking, and then we have a couple buttons in the back as well for editing. And then the most important thing, we got the push button right here in order to take the image. Another detail I put into it was the battery at the bottom. So turning the camera down, you can see this little right here, that's where you would pop it off, and then right here is where the batteries would go inside. A lot of work went into this, honestly. The reason I chose this particular 3D object to make was because I really like digital photography. I took a course back then. I feel like it has a lot more meaning than looking at something written down on a piece of paper. For example, an image can be composed of different angles, different colors, the vividness it carries, the meaning behind it. I really like that because it can tell a story. Maybe it might not tell a story, and maybe just a simple concept, but just the concept of it all, I really enjoyed it. Besides of course, the hurting of my fingers. But hey, we all have to get somewhere in order to achieve something. Also, the reason that my fingers were turning purple was because I couldn't find the correct tool to do all the little small details. And as you can see, like, there's a lot of churning that went into this. And then I feel like the most difficult part out of the whole thing of making the camera was the lens, because of how it pops out. But I got it to work in the end. If I would have done anything else differently with either or, with myself or the camera itself, I probably would have found a little bit more of an easier tool to bend the wire. I mean, I was using the pliers, but didn't really do much because of the whole small details. But besides everything else, I really enjoyed this project, and I look forward to seeing all of you guys' videos.